I could not be more delighted than to be showing you this house today. This is the Coonley house in Riverside, recently put on the market. I'm sitting because we didn't want me to intrude on the very horizontal composition that is here, starting with this beautiful lily pond and then going up to this fantastic house that has that beautiful elongated horizontal look and many other details we'll see when we go inside. I want to take you in to introduce you to Dean Eastman and Ella Mae Eastman, who are the couple who've spent the last decade bringing this back to Wright's vision. Good morning, Dean. I was sitting outside by the pond looking up at this level, this second level where the main living goes on, and was talking about how you've worked very hard to go back to Wright's vision of surrounding this living space with nature.
It's been restored back to the architectural elements and the colors and textures that Wright originally had. And a central part of it are the two mural panels on the wall, which represent light screens, and together with those light screens, the rest of the walls are open.
So what we've got is the murals that look like windows looking out toward a river,
right.
And then on the other side, windows that actually look out toward a river.
Looking out towards the Des Plaines River.
That's terrific. Boy, and speaking of having a good view, that is accomplished primarily because we're up on the second floor. We're on the master's floor, not the servant's floor.
That was Wright's idea of the raised basement prairie house, his mature prairie house.
Is to get us up where we have a better view.
We have a better view of everything.
What's nice about this one, though, as we noticed coming in, is it's not just a basement. That's a beautiful, very well done playroom downstairs.
Yeah, this was his most elaborate and largest prairie house, and so the central living room unit has a substantial playroom and structure and complex entrance foyers.
And it all went out to the
And it all connects openly and directly to the terrace and the pond and the garden that you were out looking at. Just
really blending that indoors and outdoors.
And so it's all continuous indoor and outdoor, especially on the lower level.
And speaking of continuity, we've got the dining room, which you've pointed out is not actually a separate room. It feels like a very self-contained space, but it's another component of this larger room.
That's correct. It's another functional unit, as he called it, but it really is sort of a half of the living room part here, but more intimate because of its size.
Now, these are the very authentic spaces, but in the kitchen, you didn't need to and didn't want to stay authentic. You moved away from the cramped little servant's kitchen that had been here, right?
I retained the same space, but upgraded it to owner's space because we're now the owners as well as the servants and stewards of the house.
and so, nice cabinetry that picks up what was there.
And the cabinetry is based on the original cabinetry of the kitchen, of which we still have some of the original cabinets.
And then beyond that, in what were servants' quarters, you've put two very nice bedrooms. There's one with a small bath of its own, and then the master bedroom is terrific, out there at the end of the house.
Yeah, that was the servants' wing for several servants' bedrooms, plus a maid's room and an eating room.
Boy, but we've got to call out that master bath because I can't imagine. That big soaking tub is wonderful. Lots of people have those, but it's beneath those beautiful fern-imprinted art glass windows by Wright. Now, we talked about those two bedrooms. There are 5 in all in the space. We should mention you don't have the entire house. The house has been divided.
That's correct.
So you have 2 bedrooms there in the former servants' wing. You have one here behind us.
Just behind us is an office library room, followed by a bedroom that was Queen Fairy's original office.
She was the wife of Mr. Coonley.
And wife of Mr. Coonley. And she was actually the mover and shaker that selected Mr. Wright as the architect. Her husband wanted a Georgian colonial house, and he got Mr. Wright's house. And she paid for the whole house, bought all the land, and ran the household.
And yet it's got his name on it.
It has his name on it.
That's true. I love the way you've used the earth tones, the mud and mushroom and fern tones, even in those rooms that used to just be dark storage rooms. It looks phenomenal inside. This house is terrific. But we should probably go outside and talk about some of the engineering, some of the other work you had to do.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay, let's go on out. Mm-hmm. So we came out to this sunken garden level because we wanted to take a good look at these friezes. The whole exterior you restored, but the friezes took some special work.
Yes, they all had to be cleaned. They're tile set into stucco, and the frieze panel, particularly by the porte cochere coming in, had been deteriorated by rain and had to be completely recreated to look like the 100-year-old original. Likewise, in many places, we had to jack up the house, stabilize it with new structural members, as well as refinish all of the textures and finishes on it.
It's an enormous job. You did an amazing job on this house, and what I can't believe is, having done so much and created such a phenomenal space, you're leaving.
Well, we're not going very far.
Right across the courtyard. To your second project, that's terrific.